really proud of our guys coming together in a situation where Frank Otis wasn't available, Miles Lutman wasn't available, and then Papadilla fouls out, and then Robert Kunde fouls out. So we had a little makeshift lineup in there at times, and guys responded. Texas State is a team that scares you as a coach because they press, they shoot threes, and they don't give up. But I thought that we've talked a lot after games about our foul shooting and three-point shooting woes, and we've spent a lot of time in the last few days shooting, and it's paid off. And I think we also showed some of the guys a highlight tape from last year of them making shots. And I think when you play a tough schedule like we did out of the chute with USF and A&M, and you lose a couple games, I think that can shake up your confidence a little bit. We got a little tight against Tillotson, and a little tight against TCU. We played well, but didn't shoot the ball well. At the end of the day, it's a scoreboard up there and not a rebound board, so you got to rebound the basketball. And guys made shots. Derek, Mo, Robert, Mike Walker in particular, I thought had really good games. Mike coming off the bench like he did. He's been shooting the ball like that in practice, and I've just challenged him. Hey, let's do this in the games. I'll put him on the scout teams from time to time and say, okay, you're the best player on the other team. And he's got the green light, and he makes everything he looks at. And I'm saying, okay, let's do that for us. Do that when you have the SMU jersey on. So, proud of our guys, and hopefully we can build on this.
Given the last two games and the three-point shooting in those games, how nice did it feel to make 11 three-pointers there in that first half?
Well, I tell you, as a coach, you sit there and you kind of, it's like popping a balloon. The pressure inside you that just releases when the first one goes in. You're like, because so much of shooting is mental. It's like playing golf. Our guys technically have very sound shots, and I think that then it's between your right and left ears. And so once they got it in flow, I just, you could tell that they were extremely confident. And that carried over throughout the second half too. Well, I take that back. No, it didn't. We only won 7 in the second half.
You go into that second half prepared, letting them know, hey, don't just settle for the three. I know we had success in the first half.
Yeah.
Is that something you have to remind them at halftime?
Yeah, we reminded them in a timeout, and that's very touchy, because you shoot the ball so well, and you don't want to then get them thinking too much. But you also don't want to fall in love with the three so much that we forget about Papadilla and we don't get to the foul line. We didn't get to the foul line as much as we would have liked in the first half. Part of that because we did shoot a lot of threes.
In the second half, you guys are up by about 20 points, I know, at one point. What can you do, in the victories you've had, there have been the teams kind of slicing into your leads. What can you do to try and fix that in the third game?
Get a tourniquet. It's hard because, they play too, you know what I mean? They're not going to roll over. Texas State, Doug's done a good job with that team and that program, and we played them a couple years ago, and you know that they're not going to lay down. And I've seen them down 20 and fight back. And then they play a style that is conducive to coming back. Pressing, shooting threes, taking some quick shots, and they foul. They're aggressive, so they put you to the foul line. You better make the foul shots, and that stops the clock. Too, and then they get fouled, and so they're scoring while the clock is stopped. What you have to do is take care of the basketball and try to get quality shots, and then on the flip side, guard as best you can. And it's easier said than done. It's momentum is a big part of sports, as we all know.
Robert banged up. Is this a performance that you kind of waiting for?
Yeah, Robert's still not 100%. He's probably 70, 75%. But you could see what I've talked about in the past about Robert and how he could have helped us against A&M, South Florida, TCU, although he played a little bit against TCU. But he is one of the best shooters I've ever coached. And he stretches the floor. And as a coach, you can draw up an offense. But if the ball doesn't go in the hole, what good is the play?
In
in terms of, you mentioned that as far as the shooting woes go, you showed a video to the players and, things like that. Was this as drastic a situation as you've been in as a coach for needing to kind of solve a shooting problem?
No question. I mean, when you go 0 for 13 against TCU and go, 5 or 12 from the foul line, last place in three-point shooting in the league, maybe 11th in the league in free throw shooting. And then you're thinking, are we ever, as coaches, we think the worst, I mean, is we ever going to make a shot, so you just have to try to stay calm, stay the course, and give the guys confidence and repetition and, think positively.
So you did have like extra shooting drills?
Oh yeah, we shot a bunch. The other day in our practice in here, we had two guys to a basket. That's the beauty of this, and you've talked about this building, right? And we really maximized the use of it the other day. We had shooting competitions. We teamed guys up, and first one, I think it was 20, wins, and they had about probably 10 competitions, and then we shot foul shots, and we've taught technique. Fundamentally, the ball has to have good arc and backspin, and to get that, there are certain fundamental things of a shot. Where's your hand? Where's your elbow? Where's your foot lined up? All those kind of things. And guys can get lazy, and just fall into some bad habits, dropping their follow through instead of holding it. Derek's foul shots today, he held that follow through high. He has a tendency to drop it a little bit. He's held it high and had good arc and good spin and swish, and so, it's hopefully we can stick with it. I don't see why we can't.
Did you come out tonight?
No.
Intention.
She's a lot better looking than you, so I have a tendency to look there, even though I don't have my glasses on. But, she also is with the school paper, so I got to treat her right? Cool.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, but I'm not going anywhere.
Did you come out tonight intent on shooting more threes, or did the flow of the game or the defense, was it conducive to that tonight?
I think it was flow of the game, but if you're playing us and looking at our stats, you would say, okay, let's keep the ball from Papa D, let's keep it out of the lane, let's not give them any layups, let's force them to beat us from the outside. That's what. Now, did Doug change his style for us? I don't know. Did he tweak it? I don't know. That's something you'd have to ask him. But, whether it's Texas State or Occidental or UNLV, at some point somebody's going to say, all right, prove to us you can make shots.
Can you talk a little bit about...
No, I'm sorry, I got to go.
Nice. Okay, can you talk more about Walker's performance?
Yeah, Mike, it's been the toughest thing as a coach is distributing playing time. And especially when you have guys on your team that work as hard as Mike. Mike is as dedicated as anybody is on his team in summer workouts and diet and lifting and getting shots up before and after practice. And so when, I make decisions to play him or not, it's hard because I know, and I've talked to him about it. I said, this is not easy for me either. It's harder for you, but it's not easy for me. And I just told him, hang in there, you never know. And then I challenged him a little bit, saying you shoot the ball extremely well when you're on the scout team in practice. Why don't you shoot the ball that well when you're, wearing the white jersey in practice? And, he came out, and boy, he drilled it. And that's what he does. That's what Michael does. Now, how nice would it be to have Michael coming off the bench and Robert coming off the bench, giving us that type of production? Now we've got something with Ryan and Frank Otis and Miles Lutman. Now we've got a deep team.
What's going on with Frank Otis?
He tweaked his knee the other day. Frank had surgery on his knee in high school, and we were running sprints, and he kind of tweaked it. He had an MRI today, and we'll know the results, I think, tomorrow.
Do you know about how long it's going to be up for?
I don't think it'll be very long. Obviously, Occidental's on the 19th, so we got some time. But I would be surprised, knock on wood, if he's not playing.
What about Miles? How's he doing?
He should be back for that game as well. Yeah, hopefully we'll be full strength as well.
I didn't